While before, no,
It's
I
you
gotta
gotta keep
start. Yeah, sure. Title page first.
You're live. I don't think you can stop it and restart it.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm just gonna there. Okay. So I'll put the title page in. Hello, everyone. This is Jomar Hilario, and welcome to the webinar. You're here because you want to know what it takes to be a top-notch social media strategist online today in New York. I think, are you in New York? Am
I'm
I
in
right?
New
Peg?
Hampshire. New Hampshire.
Okay. So Peg Fitzpatrick is the co-author of the book, The Art of Social Media. She co-authored this with Kai Kawasaki, who you all know is the chief evangelist today of Canva. Okay, and I also know that Peg also worked with Canva in the past. Yeah, we actually looked at your LinkedIn and all that stuff just to get to know you better, Peg. So everybody, please welcome Peg in the chat room. There's a few people in there. Hey Peg, I'm guessing this is not your first Google Hangout, right? So
No, are
you're
you
gonna
not gonna put your camera on? Or are you leaving that up the whole time?
no. I'm just gonna put that for the sake
Okay.
of the just for the thumbnail, just for
Okay.
the thumbnail. That I'm gonna put that in, so the thumbnail will be nice. Okay. So Peg, let's start off very quickly. Let me look at my questions so we can get started. So where is that list of questions? Oh, there it is. Okay. So first things first. Um, everybody, I knew Peg because of Guy Kawasaki and because of this new book that they authored, The Art of Social Media. And one of the things that we want to know is we respect Guy so much. I mean, the people here when he came over here to for Canva, everybody knew who he was, and we want to know how can somebody co-author a book with somebody like Guy Kawasaki, and we'd like to know your story leading up to that point.
Well, I mean, that's kind of a big question. I can't just say like how do you go from that's like saying how do you go from kindergarten to like a PhD program. It's not like a one-step process. I started work. That you kind of started at the end, so it's kind of hard for me to answer that question.
So let's just
Um,
take it slow. Let's take it slow. How did you get into digital marketing? Maybe that's the first part.
Okay, so I've been working in social media for about I think 6 years, 5 or 6 years now. I started out managing Facebook pages, and I really liked it. So I kept learning more about different platforms as they came up. Back then, Facebook was kind of the only thing that was out there. Email marketing. I worked in traditional marketing, and I did email marketing before that, which is still popular, but so I started with Facebook, and then I learned how to do Twitter, and I've basically just moved to all the different social platforms.
So this was for that company with the start with letter K. Sorry, I can't pronounce it.
Yeah, yes.
Yes. Okay.
It's Chrysler Inc. Yes, it's a German company, and they work in the dry cleaning industry, which is a very challenging company to do social media for. So it actually was a good place to learn because it stretches what you need to post, and um, you have to be more creative in what you find. So.
Yeah, I saw you posted happy Passover and some
Mhm.
ideas for Easter for a dry cleaning chemical company, right?
Yeah, because it's still Facebook. I mean, the thing about Facebook is for everybody, people don't really go to connect with companies. They go to be entertained or to say hi to their friends or post something themselves. So even as a brand page, I think it's important to, recognize the holidays and share current, not necessarily current events because that could be a slippery slope for Facebook content, but people and their everyday lives are it's Easter, so that's what people are thinking about. So I do post things for the holidays.
Okay, so you were there in that German company, and then how did it transition? I saw your LinkedIn. It has Mary Smith there. It had other famous people there. So how did you transition there? And now you're a speaker for South by Southwest. Was that?
Yep.
And the upcoming.
So I started a book club online. I started a Twitter chat. So when I started my Twitter chat, my first book that I chose was Enchantment by Guy Kawasaki, and through that was how I first met Guy. Was doing a book club. So I did a Twitter chat, and Guy was my first guest, and it went really well. So Guy and I kind of stayed connected, but I did the book chat for a couple of years. So once a month I would feature different authors like Mari Smith and Guy and Jay Bear. I had him on for a couple of his books, and Jason Falls, just a lot of big social media authors that I was reading. So basically through like reading books and learning and talking to different people was kind of how I progressed, with learning different things, and then also that just continued my relationship with Guy. So I basically met him on Twitter. This is, 3 or 4 years ago, before Google Plus, and he was on Twitter most of the time at that. So I met him on Twitter, and then we just, I started working with him on What the Plus, which was his Google Plus book,
Which I read.
and I was reading that while he was writing it, and then I have a guest chapter in What the Plus on how to be a little fish in a big pond, which is, I think, where everybody starts, because when everybody starts on social media, you feel like maybe I shouldn't try to do this. There's people that have more followers than me, or people are more famous, so maybe I shouldn't try it. But I think everybody should try it, and you can build your own social platform. It just takes time. So that was what my chapter was in What the Plus. And then guys started working on Ape, author, publisher, entrepreneur, with Sean Welch, and then I started working on that book with them, and I did all the book marketing for that. And then at that point I was working for Guy full time.
So, so did you start out really as an author or a book reviewer first?
I was just a person interested in social media, so I was just reading, and I just chose different books. So basically, every month I was featuring a different author. So for 1 month, I would read that book and talk about it. I actually have a book club website. I haven't updated it in a long time, called mybookclub2.com, where I used to do like reviews of the books, and I connected with a couple of the different book publishers. So some book publishers send me books. That was with McGraw-Hill though, but now my publisher is Penguin, so so McGraw-Hill I haven't worked with lately. So that was how that progressed. So it was basically just connecting with people on social media.
So I have a question. Everybody's thinking this. Everybody's thinking this. So I'm gonna echo it for you. They're gonna ask you, what was the courage? Did you need any courage to reach out to, say, Guy or Mary or Jay and say, hey, guest in my Twitter chat? Was there any? How did you do that? Is this natural?
Well, basically, some people I connected with on Twitter, and some people I emailed them, depending on who it was, like if I knew them at all. I mean, you have to do things in the right way when you're approaching somebody who has a lot of followers, or an influencer, as people call them. You need to be respectful of their time, and you need to know what you want, and you need to ask in the right way, and you need to be organized. And if you're sending an email pitch, you need to make sure it's not too long, that it's grammatically correct, that you have their information right. So people get asked for a lot of things, but if it's something like the book club was actually something that would help them, that was something that would help sell their books. That was an opportunity for someone to review their book and talk about their book online. So it was something that was helpful to them. So it wasn't like I was necessarily asking them for something. I was connecting with them and saying, hey, can I feature your book, and you'll be a Twitter chat guest. When I was doing this, there weren't as many Twitter chats as there are now either. Now there's just constant Twitter chat. So I think people get asked a lot for that too. But you know, if you build a good reputation for yourself by being consistent and professional, that people will want to work with you. So that was how I did it. I mean, some people I connected on Twitter, I would tweet them and, you know, say, hey, you know, I'd like to feature your book on my book club. Would you like to be a guest? Um, but you may not get a response. I mean, the thing is, when you try to connect with people, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get a response. You may get a, you know, a response that says, I'm too busy right now. Sometimes people have to focus more on things that they're making money on. If they have, you know, a big business, like somebody like Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V, he's very, very busy, and I don't think he does Twitter chats at all. So it depends on the person. You kind of have to know who they are. And um, so does it take courage to do it? A little bit, but if you're professional and you know, maybe if you create your email pitch, you know, have a couple people review it. There's definitely like an art to a good email pitch, and some people do really good ones, and some people are too pushy. So, and it just depends on who you're trying to contact. So, you know, I would say try it if you have an idea to connect with somebody, like if you want to do a Google Plus Hangout show, or, you know, just make sure you know what you're doing. So I I actually was the only person that was doing an online book club. It was before even Oprah did hers online. So it was a unique idea, um, I think it maybe connected well with people. So if you're going to do like a Google Hangout show or a Twitter chat, you know, just make sure it's something that other people would want to be on and be featured, and you know, it gives people a chance to share their things. So most people will do it if they have time. So I would say try it. You know, come up with an idea and try it. Sorry, my phone is ringing. Go ahead.
Morning there, right? So it's so
Yeah.
are you working from home right now?
Yeah, I always work at home.
Oh, okay. So like us, everyone here in the chat room. Hey guys, if you have,
Yeah, I work at home.
go type the questions now because there's a delay in Google Hangouts. So can you show us your book and tell us your favorite part about this book?
Actually, I don't have one right here. I'd have to get up and grab one. But
behind with 3D.
Yeah, I don't want to get up and grab one from behind because but anyway, so it's hard for me to say what my favorite parts are. I mean, you know, I like all of it. But if people have some questions, I can answer them. I don't see. Do you see any questions? Because I don't see any questions.
These guys are used to, you know, listening to us first chat and then later ask questions.
Okay.
This is the
Well, you know, basically, I can't say that I have a favorite part because there's a lot of parts that I do like. Feed the Content Monster is a part that a lot of people like, which is, you know, how to figure out how to curate content for your social media, which is really important and complicated for people. So that's been a chapter that a lot of people liked.
Curation. Did you say curation?
I said curation.
Okay. So I have a question here. Early. It says here. You have right now. What are the trends you're seeing that we should be watching out for in social media? Trends.
I don't really watch, like, I don't really follow trends. I mean, I check out everything that's new, but I don't really follow what other people do. I try to be a leader, so I'm always out looking to see what's new. I think Pinterest is, you know, it's been around, but I think it's finally stepping up for brands. So I think being proficient in how to manage Pinterest is important.
Yeah, you're a Pinterest expert, one of the handpicked people like this March, I think. So can you tell us about that, or what to be excited about?
Well, the Pinterest contacted me, and they had a pilot program, and they chose some people to try to help other people how to use Pinterest and answer questions. So it's kind of just answering questions and stuff, but it's an honor to be asked by Pinterest that Pinterest thought I was a Pinterest expert. So, and you know, there's like millions of people on Pinterest, so
that's really a big deal.
Yeah.
Even here, there aren't enough Pinterest experts here in Asia. Even here, even though I thought Pinterest many years ago when it came out.
Yeah, I think Pinterest, is more popular in some areas than others. Like obviously it's very popular in the US and in Great Britain, like mostly men use Pinterest, which is funny. It's like the opposite of in the US.
For what?
And then some other yeah, and then some so yeah, I think it's been faster. I think Asia has some different social platforms that we don't use in the US too, right? Isn't there a big do you guys use WhatsApp there?
Yeah, WhatsApp. Not in this country though, but in Pacific Rim countries,
Yeah.
there's WhatsApp, there's Line, yeah, there. But here in the Philippines, this is Facebook world, so very different
Yeah.
world.
Yeah, that's
Different,
interesting.
yeah.
So
So
why do you think Facebook is the most popular there?
here,
Hmm.
in our obsession with photos, we
Hmm.
love selfies, the selfie capital of the world. I think
So is Instagram popular?
it is catching up, but just catching up. You know, the like almost no everybody who has an account on the internet has Facebook account, but not everybody has a
Hmm.
smartphone for the Instagram. So
Right.
that's the limitation there. Uh,
So how are people using Facebook? How are people uploading pictures if they don't have smartphones?
uh, PCs, PCs. Unlike in the US, we have internet cafes all over the place,
Oh,
and,
okay.
and then free Wi-Fi. Not a lot of free Wi-Fi, more on the internet cafes. So and the tablets have gone. The Android tablets have really gone very cheap here. So before you would wonder would the driver, the driver of a public transportation, not bus, small ones, we call them tricycles,
Hmm.
if they had cell phones. Now the problem is no longer cell phones, if they have tablets, because tablets are what
So tablets, because you
six.
don't have to have a cell phone plan because you can use Wi-Fi.
Yeah, they're gonna just ride on somebody's Wi-Fi
Right.
or use the cellular. The cellular is also cheap,
Got it.
but it's not fast. That's the problem. It's cheap but not fast. Okay. And Richard said games. We love the that Farmville. That's
Ah,
addictive game
I don't
there.
play any Facebook
Yeah.
games at all. I never
Me
did
too.
any.
Can we ask you something from along life? I mean, do you have kids? Are you married?
I usually don't
How?
share all my personal stuff, but yes, I'm married and
Okay, so
I have kids and I have a dog and I live in New Hampshire, so I work at home, which is probably what you said. Most people work at home.
yeah, everyone here, most of them work from home. Hey guys, you have questions? We're running out of questions. So, Peg, just forgive us because this is our first foreign interview. I've
Hmm.
been doing this webinar for 4 years, but it's the first time we've done it in complete English.
Okay,
Okay, so
sorry.
I am flustered. Everybody's flustered. Though I'm used to speaking English, I've never done it straight because we
Well, they can
usually
ask the
inter.
question in your language and you can translate it.
Yeah.
So
So here's
ask
another
your
question.
question in any language except as long as we can translate it.
Here's a question from one of the team strategists here. Um, if you're going to be looking for an intern or an outsourced assistant, what would be your qualifications? If if you
Well, I
an intern,
haven't I haven't worked with anybody as an assistant, but I would look for somebody who is organized because I'm really organized. So I would want somebody who is really organized. And one thing that I recently found that I really love is Trello. Have you guys tried that?
Trello, you use Trello.
Yeah, I like Trello. So I would want somebody who's organized. I would think making sure that you always meet deadlines is important because, when people have deadlines, you need stuff done right away. Um, and s- somebody who's really helpful, that is going to do, what the task is, and then maybe say, "Can I do this also?" Or maybe I saw you, when you work with someone, the goal is always from Guy's book Enchantment. One of the things that he talks about is always making your boss look good. So whenever you work with someone, you want to help them as much as you can to be better. So anything that you can do that's helpful, if you can say, well, maybe, I see that you're doing this, maybe you could add this or do this as well. So making suggestions that will help them is good. Like give a little bit extra, like, do what is asked and then a little teeny bit more to make it helpful for them. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think coming from you, it carries a lot of substance, because do you work with a virtual team, or do you have employees around, an office?
No, I do all of it. I manage a total platform of like 11 million.
Wow.
Myself.
So somebody's asking your morning routine then. So if you can,
Okay.
share that.
So my morning routine, first I will start with email, because obviously those are important things. And because Guy and I work on different, like he's in a different time zone. He's 3 hours away from me. So in the morning I might have email from at night. So first I do email, and then I check to make sure all the things that I have scheduled out for the day are good. I like to schedule things right in Facebook, not in Buffer or Sprout Social. I like to do it right in Facebook because I think they do better. So first I check all the things that I have scheduled, and then I will post something, and then I start responding on social media. So I kind of go in that order. Like I post something first before I start responding to all the comments. But then I go through, after I respond to comments, I'll go through and check all the pages that I manage for spam, to make sure that all the community comments are clean, because I think that's a really important thing that a lot of people don't talk about. But if you're managing Facebook for people, part of it is keeping your community comments really nice, so it's positive for other people to come in and leave comments. So if you have things that are either spam or maybe not if it's just negative, because you shouldn't delete negative comments, but make sure you respond to them, and just make sure. Do you guys manage communities for people?
Yeah. Yes, we do.
Okay. So for community management, I always try to post something, to make sure that I'm posting interesting content, but also talking to the people, and then also deleting the comments. Those to me are like the most important things for page management, to make sure that you're, keeping the community comments nice. You can really tell pages that aren't managed well when there's a lot of spam comments, and then it just snowballs, and then people won't leave good comments anymore. You know what I mean? It kind of kills the good comments.
Good point. Good point. If they see nobody's taking care of the page, then they'll just say, "Oh, why should I post anything here?"
Right.
That's right. So that's her morning.
Alice said, "How do I strike a balance between work and being a housewife?" My kids are older, so I'm kind of I'm still a wife, of course. So I'm organized, but I don't have little kids any longer, so I don't have like driving people to school and all those things. But you just basically have to plan the amount of time that you have to work in and use it wisely. And one of the most important things is just don't get sucked into like chatting on social media when you have tasks to do. I think it's really hard sometimes for people to get distracted by maybe Farmville if you're playing games or anything. Make sure that you're doing the work that needs to be done before you're just doing things that aren't adding value to your business, because that's what social media can, do. So striking the balance is hard, but when you have stuff to do, you just have to be offline. So you just do it.
So the key word there is planning the time.
Yeah.
Plan your time. Then that's going to be the key. Okay. So somebody from Winnipeg asking, have you always been techie? That's our word for technologically proficient.
Yeah.
Or did you just learn in the recent years?
I've been a techie since there's been tech around. So I just like it. It's just something that I enjoy. So, I've had a personal computer since kind of personal computers came out. I'm probably older than everybody on this call, but I was actually like in offices when PCs actually first came in offices. So I don't know. It's just always been something that appeals to me, and I love, when the first iPhone came out, when the first iPad came out, I was like, like everybody else, like you saw that first iPad commercial, I was like, I really want that. My husband was like, why? I was like, it just looks so awesome, and of course it was. So it's just always been appealing to me, and I just like to learn about how to use it.
So
So I would say always.
did you listen to the keynote? You like watch or the live blogs of the announcements of Apple? Did you ever do that?
I don't really watch them that much. I think I just got an email this morning about the smartwatch, but I kind of tune into it a little bit. But yeah, it's hard because Apple makes you want everything that they make. So
Yes. And we're all using Apple. You have white earbuds. So
yeah, yeah, I do use Apple. Someone else asked what my go-tos. Jasmine asked what my go-to source for content is. I like to use Feedly, which is a site where you can set up you can bring RSS feeds in there, and Alltop. Those are two sites that I use to find content. And Feedly, you can set it up for different clients, make little folders, and then put different blogs that work for those clients. So you can just go to that folder and then find things.
okay, so that's great. So Feedly and our favorite Altop, which I have been promoting for many years.
Yeah, it's
Guys,
easy. It's easy to use.
yes.
We can probably do like one or two more questions.
Okay, so here's second time this appeared. Advice for somebody who's just starting to work at home online, like us.
Mm. I
Like Miss
think, yeah, I think what I already said is kind of the biggest advice is don't confuse being online with working online. So make sure if you have client work or if you're trying to get to, if you're trying to work, make sure that you're not spending your time just chatting with people because being busy isn't the same as getting work done. So make sure that you don't let the fun part of social media, which I really like too, don't do the chatty stuff until you have all of your tasks done. Otherwise, it can take away from your productivity. It's hard to balance it, but you have to think about it when you're working on stuff.
okay, that's great. So that's very good because here we're addicted to Facebook and just scroll down for refreshing. And people
Yeah.
probably it's work.
Yeah,
So our last
well,
question for the
it's work if you're going through your communities and talking to the people in your communities and stuff, or finding things to share in your communities. Those are all work things. But then when you're I'm not saying I don't do it. I'm just saying, like, if I'm giving my best advice, just make sure that you have the work things done before you get distracted by other things, because otherwise you can still be online all day, but then not getting all the stuff done in a good way. So that's what you think about.
okay, I think this is more important. How do you avoid burnout? Since there's a lot
Hmm.
of things, I think you
Um,
already answered.
You have to avoid burnout. Like if you feel yourself getting like stressed out or if you're on way too many hours, you do need to take a break and just do something different, get away from your computer. Because it is easy to get burned out when you work a lot of hours and a lot of days. And the hard thing with social media is it's kind of 24/7 because it's global. So there's someone online from some part of the world all the time. For you guys, it's 9:30 at night. It's Eastern Standard Coast. Like this is when the largest percentage of population is on social media right now, just starting their day. So for you guys, you probably even have an additional challenge with a big time difference. Do you manage pages in the U.S. like all over,
No. Well, there are different
or
kinds of,
mostly in?
so it's all over the world also. There's a lot of Australia,
Yeah,
US clients
yeah.
here as
So I
well.
would say to make sure that you do chunks of time to plan out your content and schedule things and be organized for your whole week in advance. So when every day comes up, you don't have to be as stressed. That's how I do it. I'll take a big chunk either Sunday sometimes or like Monday morning, and I just check through everything I have scheduled for the whole week. And then as other things come up, I'll add other things into the plan. But when I know that I have a good structure for the week, then um, it's less stressful. So it's really just being organized and you know, having a plan for yourself, knowing how many times you're going to post for each thing, and then just making sure that you, it gets easier the longer you do it because you know what kind of content works on the different clients that you manage. So, you know, just, and then also, you know, once you have your whole week planned, when you find new things, schedule them out for later. Don't share them immediately. A lot of people find something and share it right away. I will add it to Buffer or Sprout Social. So when you find, if you have your whole week done, then just schedule things out later. Then you're helping your future self. That helps too.
Okay, I think that's all the time we have. Am I right? Peg?
Okay.
I want to respect your
Okay.
time. They got a lot of
Okay. Well,
questions. That's okay.
yeah. Thank you, everyone, for coming. I'm going to type it in too, but thanks for coming, and good luck with all of your social, everybody.
Thank you very much, Peg. Look
Okay.
forward
Thank
to
you.
some other time. Bye, guys.
Okay. Good luck. Bye.